Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Our thermometers continue to take a tumble. Now we await the possibility of a little frozen precipitation. We'll track it on Defender straight ahead.
A house fire in Whitley County takes the life of a man.
And this afternoon, President Obama is talking about the unrest in Ferguson, Missouri, how he's taking a closer look at the relationship between police and the communities they serve, as a day of protests highlights the issue from coast to coast. Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. The warm weather from this weekend is gone just in time for the first day of December. After highs pushing 70 yesterday, temperatures are in the 30s this afternoon. Here's a live look at Triangle Park in downtown Lexington. And could this rain change over to snow? WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
Jennifer, I do think some areas will see a wintry mix as we get deeper into the evening and especially into parts of the overnight. That temperature drop over the past 24 hours as strong as we were talking about last week, better than 30 degrees colder today than at this same point yesterday. We're down to 35 degrees right now in Lexington. That colder air, though, is still on the move across southeastern Kentucky. Look at Harlan, 57 degrees, 34 into the Covington area. Throw the winds into the mix. It feels like it's in the mid-20s with a lot of heavy rain that is out there. Boy, oh boy, you need to bundle up with the rain gear and everything else. We're seeing a cold surge of air coming in from the north, meeting up behind this front that is off to our south and southeast. So we're getting overrunning moisture that will initially spell a cold rain for many, but look at how we're breaking out now into a little frozen stuff across far northern Kentucky. From south to north, this is mainly rain across the London, Corbin, Somerset area, certainly into the Lexington metro, where it is really coming down at a bad time. It's going to be an ugly afternoon commute across most of central and eastern Kentucky, where you see the embedded dark greens, the yellows, the oranges. That's some locally heavy downpours. Now we take you into northern Kentucky, where Defender's picking up on that wintry mix, showing some pink and some white to go along with the green. Jennifer, that's the area that has a freezing rain advisory for the Covington, Cincinnati area for later on tonight. We will see at least the threat for some wintry stuff across many areas. We'll track that when I come back in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. An elderly man has died after being trapped inside his burning home in southeastern Kentucky. The house on Highway 904 caught fire yesterday. WKYT's Sam Smith is in Whitley County, where investigators are trying to figure out what started the fire. It's our top story at 4.
Fire crews were called out here around noon yesterday. When they arrived, smoke was coming from the right rear of the house. 85-year-old Harold Carpenter was found inside. The coroner says he died as a result of the fire. The fire was contained to the bedroom. Crews were able to keep it from spreading. How the fire started is still under investigation. Family and friends are mourning the loss of Carpenter. They say he was a nice man that will be missed.
I'm going to miss him. I know that, because I used to like going down there and chatting with him and whatever. So he'd always want you to sit a spell.
I'm told Carpenter lived alone, and when crews arrived, no one else was inside the house. In Whitley County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Crowley Funeral Home in Williamsburg will handle Carpenter's arrangements. It's good news for people who didn't have their recycling picked up last week in Lexington. The city has started emptying Rosie's again. Collection was suspended last week after a windstorm damaged the fabric roof on the recycling facility. The damaged roof has been removed, and city officials say the facility can safely operate while the roof is being repaired. UK coach Mark Stoops is searching for a new offensive coordinator to replace Neil Brown. Today, Troy University introduced Brown as its new head football coach. Brown was an assistant coach at Troy from 2006 to 2009. The former Wildcat is a Danville native, where he starred as a wide receiver for Boyle County. In a statement, Mark Stoops offered his congratulations and best wishes to Brown. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. For the first time since a fire destroyed their school, preschool students in Lincoln County are finally back in the class today. The fire back in August heavily damaged the old high school that houses the Lincoln County Board of Education and the county's preschool classrooms. For now, preschool students are meeting at one of 3 locations in Lincoln County. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, you'll hear from a teacher who will tell you what's next in the rebuilding plans there. It reverses the effects of an opiate overdose, and it's costing taxpayers more now than it did previously. A battalion chief is telling us that emergency crews have been using Narcan for more than 30 years. He also says the demand for Narcan in the city is on the rise. But the more first responders use it, the more the cost goes up. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, find out how much you're paying to keep this drug in the hands of emergency responders. And police in one central Kentucky county say it's the time of year they see a spike in robberies. Georgetown police are searching for a robber after 2 gas stations were robbed in just hours. They linked the robberies based on the disguise the suspect wore. We'll have the latest on the investigation coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. And that's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. Now the stories making headlines across the nation at 4. President Barack Obama is looking at how police work with people, and a White House official says that relationship is a disintegration of trust. The series of meetings come as protests in Ferguson, Missouri continue into their second week. Emily Schmidt has the latest.
The focus on Ferguson police and protesters hasn't stopped at the city limits. All across the country, from Seattle to New York, you can see the response to a St. Louis County grand jury's decision not to indict a white police officer for shooting an unarmed black teenager.
No justice, no peace.
And in Washington, D.C., where protesters stopped traffic for a short time during Monday's rush hour, President Obama is examining the relationship between police and the communities they serve.
There's no doubt that the issues that are raised in Ferguson are continue to be at the top of the agenda.
President Obama's series of meetings included cabinet members, civil rights leaders, and law enforcers. Most of the meetings were closed to cameras, but the White House said the president outlined plans for an executive order to track weapons and gear the federal government sends to police departments nationwide.
These programs actually serve a very useful purpose. What is needed, however, is much greater consistency in oversight of these programs, primarily in how these programs are structured.
The president is also calling for $263 million to provide police departments with body cameras which could record confrontations, such as the one between Officer Darren Wilson and Michael Brown in Ferguson. The White House was asked if President Obama plans to visit Ferguson. The answer: he is open to travel, but has no specific plans to do so. In Washington, I'm Emily Schmidt.
Officer Darren Wilson resigned from his Ferguson, Missouri department over the weekend. He reportedly did not receive a severance package. The Supreme Court is taking its first look at the limits of free speech and social media. At issue is whether the threatening language people post is protected as free speech, or can they be held accountable for those posts. The justices are hearing a case involving aspiring rapper Anthony Alanis, who was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for threats he made on Facebook about his now ex-wife. He talked about wanting to kill her, then claimed they were rap lyrics and he wasn't serious. An Ohio community is mourning the death of a popular Ohio State University football player. Police discovered the body of 22-year-old Costa Cara George yesterday in a dumpster not far from his Columbus apartment. Investigators believe he killed himself. They'd been searching for him since last Wednesday. His mother says he'd had several concussions and she was worried he was disoriented and in trouble. A vigil was held in his honor on the OSU campus last night. Black Friday is now in the books, but the holiday shopping deals are far from over. Find out just how much Americans are expected to spend on this Cyber Monday, next in WKYT Money Watch. And it seems shoppers weren't just looking for clothes and electronics. How many people bought guns on Black Friday? Next on WKYT News at 4.